What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so look, for many years, there did not outwardly at least seem to be any type of rift between LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. For the most part, Stephen A. Smith has seemed to be respectful, seemed to be giving LeBron James his flowers. The only thing is that he would not call him the GOAT. He would say that I think he started saying this about the last 5 or 6 years that LeBron James is the second best player he's ever seen, right? That all changed after Bronny was annihilated in a basketball game defensively. Actually, I take that back. Bronny James was annihilated offensively by Tyrese Maxey in the game against the Sixers, where Maxey, had the game not been blown out by the fourth quarter, he would have scored 50-some points against Bronny, just destroyed him. Prior to that, Stephen A. Smith really hadn't said much about the Bronny debacle, but that pushed him to make a plea for LeBron to stop this Bronny experiment. So on the very day that it was announced that ESPN and Stephen A. Smith had agreed to a $100 million contract for Stephen A. Smith, Stephen A. Smith was at a basketball game. I think it was at New York with the Lakers. And anyway, whatever the case may be, I remember being very, very late February. LeBron James confronted Stephen A. Smith, made sure there was someone recording it from the stands. He set him up, and towered over Stephen A. Smith, and basically try to chump him. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting with LeBron James because a guy like Skip Bayless has been way, way more vocal, being disrespectful toward Bronny, but he has said nothing. But then again, we know that the fake black activist never has any smoke for white folks. Let's just keep it what it is. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, since then, Stephen A. Smith has become more and more vocal about what some of the issues he has with LeBron James. And recently, on a podcast, I don't know the name of this podcast, but it features Lonzo Ball. He was talking about how LeBron James is not the GOAT, and that in particular, stat padding does not make you a GOAT.
LeBron is stat padding to be the GOAT.
I'm doubling down on that. Who the hell don't know that? Listen, we don't look at the Lakers and see a championship team. You ain't beat Oklahoma City. You ain't beat Denver. Just understand, it don't buy you GOAT status. You're not getting that.
So who's your GOAT?
Michael Jordan.
Unquestioned.
Without question. I've been saying that since the man retired, and ain't a damn person changed my mind.
So what if I tell you this, though?
Sure.
If you take Bron and put him on them Bulls teams, they still have 6 rings.
I would challenge that.
You would challenge that?
Yes.
That's something you often hear from LeBron fans. And, Lonzo used to be a clutch client anyway, so you expect him to say that. I don't know if he still is, but anyway, one of the main things that you need to be successful in the triangle offense is to be, especially if you're a star player, you need to have a jump shot, in particular a mid-range jump shot, and you need to be a good defender and a versatile defender and a leader. And to be very, very good playing off the ball. And LeBron has only improved marginally in the last thing, and he sucks at the other things I talked about. And there's way too many situations where watching how LeBron James plays and how statistically he just sometimes checks out in high pressure situations. And like, for instance, when the Bulls went down 2-0 against the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals in 1993, right? Do we really see LeBron James rising to the occasion and leading the Bulls to 4 straight victories? Now, I'm not saying Pippen didn't rise too, but all of the shit that LeBron does, pointing the finger at teammates, trying to get guys traded, usurping his coaches. Do you really think that he would have worked with Phil Jackson? He would have never allowed Phil Jackson to be as demonstrative as he wound up being. He won't go listen to him. He'll roll his eyes and he'll wind up doing the same shit he did the first couple of years he was in Cleveland. Lead a team to 50 to 60 wins in the regular season and get his ass knocked out every year in the playoffs in the 90s. And he wouldn't have played as long because he got his ass tore up playing against the Knicks and the Pacers and all those guys, Davis boys, Xavier McDaniel, Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason, Patrick Ewing. You know, they would have, the bad boy Pistons, he would have played it. LeBron James would have retired probably before 1997. As much as he cries and whines, complains, he would have retired before then. Well, no stat padding and load managing back then. No, I don't see him winning 6 championships. Maybe on the 96 Bulls, he could have maybe won a title with that team, but 6, no. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. The brother had, I'm talking LeBron James, the easiest path to a finals, even easier than the Showtime Lakers in the Western Conference in the 80s. He had less competition in the East during that 2000, I say between 2012 and 2019. That Eastern Conference was it was as weak as it gets, as weak as Glass Joe. After that Boston Celtics team aged out, and before the rise of Giannis and Joel Embiid and Kawhi going to the Raptors, do people remember how pathetically weak the East was? You could pencil in the Cavaliers into the finals every year. What were we complaining about 10 years ago? No parity in the NBA, especially in the East. At least Golden State had a little bit of competition with the Spurs and, briefly, then later on, the Rockets and, there was a little bit of competition. That man had no competition and still had a losing finals record. Come on, man. Shaq and Penny Hardaway would have tore LeBron ass up. Come on, man. LeBron couldn't even guard Jason Terry. Penny Hardaway would have destroyed this motherfucker. But anyway, yeah. Back to Stephen A. Smith's points, man. Stat pad don't make you the GOAT. It doesn't. Playing forever doesn't make you the GOAT. We saw, and not a knock on him because I'm a Buffalo Bill fan, but we saw Bruce Smith hang around and around and around to break Reggie Wright's sacks record. Does anybody consider Bruce Smith the greatest sacks, the greatest? Does anybody consider him the greatest? Damn, I'm having a brain fart here, man. Does anybody consider him the greatest defensive tackle ever? Does anybody think that he's better than Reggie White? No. Does anybody consider Emmitt Smith the greatest running back ever? Nope. Nolan Ryan has the most strikeouts in history. Most people do not consider him the greatest pitcher of all time. Most people will tell you, even in his abbreviated career, that Sandy Koufax was a much more dominant pitcher. Well, I'm not going to say much more, but he was a better and more dominant pitcher than Nolan Ryan. He didn't play nearly as long, but peak for peak, he was better. That's what I'm trying to say. So no. To be honest with you, Michael Jordan still did more in his 15-year career than LeBron has done in his 22 and a half or 22 and a third, whatever you want to call it, year career. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it, man. Tell what you guys think.